What's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you heard Kanye West, you made some more disturbing claims against Kim, and it was enough for Kim to finally get in on TMZ streets and start windmilling on you, letting everybody know that we shouldn't believe anything you say because you are a deadbeat dad and you don't want to see none of the kids except for North, y'all. What is going on? Oh, this is taking a tragic turn, but at the end of the day, Kanye is letting some truths be known. I actually think between Kim and Kanye, they are both weird. Kanye might actually be the king of more weird, especially with Kim having North at Coachella at 11 years old. If you've ever been to Coachella, North don't got any business being in Coachella. And even if she got all her security and all her nannies around her, she's still seeing stuff and it's encouraging her to get involved in stuff that no 11-year-old should be around. It's weird, but Kanye ain't doing no better. Okay, what am I talking about? So Kanye posted this. I need a plan to exercise my rights with my kids. I figured out a lot of things, but I haven't figured this out. You know one way you can do that, Kanye? Actually go home to California and go see your kids every day. You were awarded some form of custody. I think it was 50-50. And now you're trying to act like you don't know how to get your kids. You see North all the time. And Saint has access to the same security and nannies that deliver North to you. He said the day Kobe passed away, we all went to Kylie's house and there in the stand next to the couch in the front living room were vintage Playboy magazines strategically placed within an arm's reach of every child in that house, which was every half-black baby. Y'all know what that is, why that is, and who is behind it. The cousin song triggers that memory. Me as a dad, I want to change that for my kids. Let me just say this, right? I don't think that Kanye deserves to be in a mental institution for talking crazy because you guys don't know what happens in mental institutions. You should only be there if you are a danger to your own life, and you should only be there long enough that you can leave, because mental care in America is very, very draconian. Okay, so I don't think he should. But that said, I wouldn't allow Kanye to be around those kids unsupervised. It's weird to me how much he's projecting on those kids. It's very, very weird to me. All right. Also, Kanye then tweeted, because academics had to get in and be like, oh my God, Kris Jenner was handing out Playboys, right? And he said, Kris didn't hand them out. They were just sitting within reach like candy. Okay, Kanye, you married into that family. You saw, like the rest of us, Rob Kardashian sucking Kris Jenner's toes. You saw the way Kris thought it was funny that Rob had a crush on his sister, Kim. You saw that. You saw the way they did a whole Cersei and Jamie Lannister, my brother, my lover subplot between Rob and Khloe. When Khloe was offended that after Rob was bragging about sleeping with a Kim Kardashian lookalike, that he would, and asking him, would you sleep with a Khloe Kardashian lookalike? Again, you was there. You made a song about you want to sleep with all 4 of your sister-in-laws, right? But also, let me just say this before we get into Kim's response, because we're going to drag Kim in a second. But at this point, I cannot stand how much of a hypocrite Kanye West is. If you guys don't know, he said he was giving his cousin sloppy toppy, his male cousin sloppy toppy, until he was 14 years old. Now, oddly enough, he didn't say whether he was the one Malolo or whether he was the Malolo-er, but he was coming out the closet as gay. Spoiler alert, I said it once and I said it again. Kanye, who did you think you were fooling? Okay, it's 2025. That's not a big deal. Who'd you think you were fooling? And I think collectively we can always say, I know, we know, Kanye. Mind you, Azalea Banks yesterday tweeted that Virgil and Kanye were lovers. Kanye gave Elon Musk some sloppy toppy when they was on that Special K. And that like a bunch of other stuff. I'll remember, it just slipped my mind, but it was good. Hold on, watch my other video, I did it. Anyway, Kanye's a hypocrite because you literally had your wife fully naked on the Grammy red carpet where there were children around and young people around, and you had her image splashed across the US and everywhere else. On top of that, We saw the Grammys, but she's been walking around naked pants all over Tokyo at one point before they put the kibosh on that, but definitely all over Italy. Kids, everybody seen it. You guys, I don't think she did it, but you simulated her giving you sloppy toppy on a boat. Kids were around then. So now you're talking about a hypocrite about your kids on the red carpet. Kanye, shut up. The funny thing is, Kanye is inching closer and closer and closer into giving us more information that's happening in that Kardashian household. Again, I do not believe that you can be married to a weirdo for that long without being involved in that weirdo stuff. On top of that, right? On top of that, I do think that I wouldn't let Kanye around those kids. Being locked up for saying vulgar, disgusting, ableist, racist, yeah, I don't think that's true. But I wouldn't let my kids or anybody else's kids, your kids, my kids, future kids, prior. Like, I would, imaginary kids, I wouldn't let anybody's kids around Kanye West. He's not thinking rationally. He has a weird fixation with pee, with this, with that. Bianca feeds into it. Kim fed into it when she was with him. I just wouldn't have any kids around him right now, especially his own. Well, get this. Kim did something very, very unprecedented. And might I say very, very embarrassing to Saint. She says that Kanye West hasn't seen Saint all year. No, she says that when Kanye says, I haven't seen Saint all this year, Kim said, you can anytime. Why would you put this in TMZ? This is embarrassing for Saint. They said, and again, I get it. Kanye's being embarrassing, but why would you add on top of that? He had to deal with the fact that all his classmates, when they turned 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and definitely college, have probably all seen his mom in her heyday being a superstar. Please don't act like those kids are not going to be subject to that. They said Kanye West claims she hasn't been around her son Saint at all this year, but we know that's not even remotely true. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ Ye can see his kids whenever he wants and mostly chooses not to, but he's definitely seen Saint in 2025. It's sad that we're going into May. Diddy's going into trial and Kanye only saw his child one time, and Kim is letting everybody know that Kanye is a deadbeat dad that doesn't see his kids, which, by the way, F you, Kanye. Between the remarks about Beyonce and Jay-Z's children and between being a deadbeat dad. Anyway, Kanye's kids live mostly with their mom, Kim, but we're told Kanye spent 3 months in Los Angeles this year and didn't ask to see Saint or any of his kids aside from North until a week before leaving town. Again, let me just also say this. Again, this story that I don't think he made it up. I think he only has seen Saint and the kids one time, except for North. But I do think that I feel like he's maybe trying to make people feel sorry for him. And I think Bianca might be helping stage it. Again, you've literally had naked women around your kids all day. There was a party your kids went to that people were eating sushi off of naked models and North was there. But now you're concerned about a Playboy. This makes 0 sense. Again, and let me just say this. I am low-key concerned for North. Kanye has already said he is a perp derp, right? Pariah. And for some reason, North seems to be the only child he cares about. Or the only, not cares about, the only child he seems to have a desire to be around. Again, Saint does have access to Saint drivers, security, nannies. He could be hanging out with Saint too if Kanye wanted him around. And it's weird that he only wants his girl children around him. Now, I'm not going there. I'm just saying that Kanye is obviously not in his right mind, not enough to be arrested and thrown in a mental institution, which is jail, but definitely enough to be like, let's wait till you stabilize before we start letting like the kids around you. And not only that, if this is the mindset Kanye's in, what about the people that Kanye keeps around North? You know what I'm saying? Again, and he keeps posting about North, inviting other weirdos on the internet to actually like post and comment about North too. It's very, very weird. Anyway, Kim went on to say, telling all our business. In fact, we're told it was only a few days ago that Kanye saw Chicago and saw him, and Ye has full control to see his kids when he wants. What's more, Kanye and Saint were together in Japan earlier this year, but they shot the cover for the art Bully and then they filmed the video. This all flies in the face of one of Kanye's recent posts. I haven't seen Saint this year. Yeah, Kim and Kanye were only married for 4 years and have 4 kids before divorcing. Kim wants her kids to have a relationship with her father and has never stood in the way. So what do y'all think? I think that there's a lot we can say about Kim. I think she was dead wrong for blasting Kanye on TMZ because the kids are going to be affected. But at the end of the day, what do? You can't get even if you got a restraining order about Kanye talking about the kids, he's still going to violate it. Again, Kanye saying, what can he do to facilitate that? Calm down. Get on your meds, have Bianca put some clothes on, and then move back to California and go pick up your kids after school. Go invite them over for the weekends. Build a relationship. It's sad, these prophecies. You literally turned into your dad. You got a bunch of excuses. But at this point, Kanye shouldn't even be around the kids. I said it. He shouldn't. And anybody that would dare do that because he's Kanye West and he made a song or two you like, you said MF fool. That's all I'm saying. I don't think he should be locked up in a mental jail. I do think that those kids should be protected from him until he starts normalizing. That's all. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.